Yeah. This episode is going to drop on Aunt Lisa's birthday.
Holy crap, it is. Holy smokes, it is.
Well, happy birthday, Aunt Lisa.
Happy birthday. Thank you for all your love and support.
Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the Watch It Bro podcast. I am Tristan,
And I am Marshall.
and I had something I was going to say, and I don't remember what it was, so we're just going to gloss over that, get right into today's episode.
That sounds fantastic. You might
We're,
notice I sound a little off. I am fighting a cold or
and,
something.
and not doing very well because it's been over a week.
But I am here and I'm ready to have some fun.
Because we're out of time for recording,
Yeah.
if we want to put this out on time. But
Yeah, we
today, what?
just yeah, we got this.
Oh, yeah, no problem. But today we are going to be talking about surf ninjas,
Yeah, we are.
a staple of our childhood. And fun fact, it was shot in only 5 weeks.
That's one of my fun facts. Kwanzaa, dude.
Quadsu, dude. Fun fact,
Yes.
that phrase was made up and pitched by Rob Schneider.
that that is a fun fact. I've got a bunch of them for this movie.
I got a few. This movie was directed by Neil Israel, written by Dan Gordon and Neil Israel. It is going to be starring Ernie Reyes Jr., as I mentioned before, Rob Schneider, who, fun fact, is
Yes.
supposed to be 19 in this movie, but was 28 at the time of filming.
he was. I can play 19.
Come on, don't I look 19? Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10 on how stupid a person could look, you are definitely 19.
Got our friends referencing.
Oh, yeah. It's been a few episodes since that happened.
It has been a couple.
Moving on, it's also starring Tone Loc, who was I guess, famous rapper in the early 90s. I didn't listen to rap. I still kind of don't, so I have no idea who he was. But he also has acted in quite a few things.
I know he was in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
That's what I remember him from. I couldn't pinpoint it and I didn't look it up. I don't know why I didn't look it up, but I didn't. I'm just like, I recognize that guy. Moving on.
That's fair.
Which, I mean, I should have. I should have looked him up. I don't know why I didn't.
Because you figured I would, and I did.
Didn't even figure you would.
Oh.
Wasn't worried about it. My apologies.
To Toad Lock.
Yes, if you're listening. It's also starring John Carlin and Ernie Reyes Sr.
Yes. Yes, it is a father-son project.
It is not the first one either.
No, it is not.
Do you know what the first one was?
I do not know what the first one was.
I was hoping you did because I don't either. That one I was like, Marshall will look that up. Turns out I was not correct on that. And rounding out our starring cast is going to be the great Leslie Nielsen, who you might know from the Airplane movies. Or as Mr. Magoo in the live
Or
action
from the
Mr.
Naked
Magoo.
Gun movies.
Or the Naked Gun movies. Was he an Airplane now? Or was it just Naked Gun? He was an Airplane.
It was an airplane.
Don't Call Me Shirley, right?
Correct.
And then, I don't know why she didn't get a starring credit, but I'm going to mention her anyway since she's a big part of this movie, is Kelly Hu,
Yes.
who would go on to be in The Scorpion King, play Stacy in Phineas and Ferb, have parts in Castle and a recurring role in Warehouse 13. She's also done a ton of voiceover work in cartoons and video games, and is going to be in the upcoming Gremlins TV show.
Fantastic. So out of the people from this movie, she's probably got one of the bigger careers.
I would say the biggest career next to Leslie Nielsen.
Rob Schneider did quite a fair bit.
I keep forgetting Rob Schneider's in this.
That is fair. He has bright orange hair, um, and you kinda forget he's there.
Except you don't. It's
Right.
just he's just so
You
not,
just forget he's Rob Schneider.
but he's so Rob Schneider that you just it's weird. It's like some weird paradox.
It's like, "Oh, yeah, that's Rob Schneider." Of course it is, but yeah. I do have a fun fact, though, about Eddie Reyes Jr.
Go for it.
The man holds a fourth-degree black belt in Taekwondo,
Yes, he does.
so he knows his stuff when it comes to martial arting.
I was gonna say martial artistry.
That is a better way to say it.
This movie was released August 20th, 1993 on a budget of 6.5 million. Unfortunately, it flopped at the box office and only brought in 4.9 million.
Correct. New Line Cinema leaned in hard to Ernie Reyes Jr. After seeing him in Ninja Turtles 2. They
Yep.
signed him to a three-picture deal, and after the box office flop of this one, they terminated that deal,
Yeah, how could you
which is,
imagine the Surf Ninjas trilogy? Yeah,
or at least other movies with him in it. But part of the issue, it sounds like, was that New Line was going through some um, different acquisitions and higher up changes, so the movie wasn't promoted well.
that sounds, yeah, that sounds right. Because we what discovered it going to Video Factory. We're like ninjas
Um,
and surfing, yay!
I remember seeing a trailer for it, but I don't remember what movie had the trailer.
Was it the Three Ninjas that had the trailer for Surf Ninjas?
It might have been, but we saw that trailer a lot because I remember the few clips from it where he's like, it's like, "Oh, it's so cool when I did hi and he hits the guy with the chef, and then he pulls the sword, and there's a couple things like trailer shot, trailer shot, trailer shot, but I can't remember which movie had it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you for the life of me.
So, any more specs for the movie before we start getting into it?
No, no, that rounds out the specs that I have for this. Um, this was a Marshall movie,
Okay,
and we are still trying to find our groove, like the Emperor was at one point.
you threw off my groove.
And so,
A friend of Rob Schneider. David
yeah,
Spade.
played it fast and loose with the term friend, huh?
No, they're pretty good friends.
They are. They actually are. But yeah, they make fun of each other a lot. But anyway, so yes, this is a Marshall pick. Marshall chose
This
this
isn't
one.
my pick.
It is. But in the vein of, like I said, finding our new groove, we're gonna mix up the structure a little bit, and I'm going to take us kind of through the play-by-play because Marshall is great at playing off of that, and I suck at it. So
You don't suck at it.
it's pretty bad. So we so how how about that logo coming into this movie?
It's the New Line Cinema logo. It's a classic from the '90s. It
Not
evokes
the
a
New
lot of
Line
memories.
Cinema. No, not the New Line Cinema one. The title screen for the movie.
Oh.
Never mind. Marshall's always wanted to talk about the title of the movie, or
No, I mean, that's that New Line Cinema logo there right there that you see. It's like, "Oh, man, this is" I don't know, it evokes '90s action movie because it's the same one on the Ninja Turtles, and it's just
sure. Okay. Yes, New Line Cinema. Yeah. But I didn't remember how this movie started off.
oh,
I
yeah?
thought it started off with the Baba Ram.
I mean, that's early on, but yeah, no, it
So first memory of Surf Ninjas is the Baba Ram.
that is fair.
And, but we yeah, so it's I yeah, it's and I thought we didn't meet Zach until much later. But
No, it
it
starts
starts
with him narrating.
yeah, it starts with him narrating, talking about some kind of legend of these kids, which is interesting choice too, like instead of opening up with a huge narration and a backstory, to kind of like drop it out.
I mean, it didn't give us everything at once, so it kinda sets it up.
Right. I thought it was interesting that there was like almost no backstory to the legend. It was just like there's guys trying to kill these kids.
Yeah, you get the brief setup, but you don't get the details yet,
Right.
which we kind of explore along with the kids.
We do, and it's fun. So
It is.
we get
Um,
introduced to the family, and the introduction to this family is quite. They're not. They are like the ultimate slackers.
yes, yes, they are. We got Johnny, Adam, and Mac. Mac is the dad.
Right. He
Johnny's
is
the
there.
eldest with the long hair.
Adam's
And
got the
then
bowl cut and
yep,
the smart mouth.
yes. Um,
But yeah, so yeah, because we meet the shadowy eye patch guy in the very beginning. Name him
yes.
now. He's Zatch, and uh, so they lead off with people. Someone's trying to kill these kids. He beats up a guy. Then we get introduced to the family. They give their dad a really hard time, and we start seeing like hints of like a shadowy figure in the kitchen
Mm.
grabbing a knife.
Right. They're talking about being in a rut too, about breakfast. Did you do your homework? And then they fight about not doing the homework. It's like just kind of relax.
Yeah, just don't make us do our homework, and we'll have no problem. Like, oh, don't make me do stuff.
Right, right. And then they both say, "I love you, Dad." Like, "I love you too." So wait, wait, wait. We're not getting
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
we're not getting sidetracked by saying you love me. But with Johnny, you've got his very similar attitude to how he was in Ninja Turtles, the Keto, just kind of carefree, uh, laid
Yeah,
back.
that's pretty much his character in every movie he's in. That from what I've recalled, that he's just this
Yeah.
go with the
Oh,
flow, man.
I forgot to mention this too. He did the stunts for Donatello in the first Ninja Turtles.
Right, and I believe they asked him to play Donatello in the third movie, but
They did, but he was under he
he was
already had
doing
a
this movie,
project going on. Yeah, it might have been this one.
and so they mosey up to the kitchen, and you get like a kind of a it's an interesting, it's an interesting reveal of a character who's no threat whatsoever.
Right, because we were told someone's after these kids. You get the shady, the shadowy figures outside, and then somebody moving into the kitchen, the knife being pulled, and then um, Max like, "You better put that knife down," in a
And
very
then we
serious tone.
Yeah. And then it cuts to Rob Schneider. He's like, "You don't want chives? Fine." And
It,
just helping himself to making omelets. Which I'm so. Why would you be mad at some kid that comes over and cooks you food?
I don't think he cooks him food. I think he just cooks the food.
But he asked, "You don't want chives?"
Yeah, but he's like, You never made me anything. Why would I want chips?" Plus,
Just
Max
'cause
a cook.
well, we don't know that yet.
Well, true, we don't.
But Johnny wants chives,
Yes.
and for some reason they throw beets in there.
Yeah, they put a lot of stuff in this thing, and Mac is the Iggy. Rob Schneider's character's name is Iggy, and he's that one friend that just always shows up.
Yeah, that's just there is okay. He's just kind of always there.
Yes,
So do you remember when you made a Maverick spin-off movie
yes, I believe we talked about this in our
in the
Maverick episode.
Sure, sure. And we talked about the annoying character in every scene.
Yes,
Was this your inspiration for that?
I have no idea. I feel like I just thought it would be funny at the time.
Okay, because I was like, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, it's that annoying friend that just pops up every. Oh, maybe I don't know why I thought about that. I did. My brain is a weird place.
It is a weird place.
Thanks.
You're
So,
welcome.
so they
Um,
leave for school.
fun facts too about Rob Schneider. He is part Filipino.
Yes, he is. I was gonna bring that
Um,
up, but I forgot.
Also, he is only in this movie because he's friends with the director.
Yeah.
He got brought in, like, "We need Rob Schneider in this." Like, "You sure? He's 10 years older than what he's supposed to be." "No, no, no, he's fine."
If you told me he was 19, I would have believed him.
I mean, yes, he did not do a bad job portraying a 19-year-old. I looking at it as like, he's a little old, but I get it. He can pass in this movie.
Yeah, well, and that's because I think part of it, I think, is because like Ernie Reyes Jr. is also not 15,
No, no, he is not 15.
but he's supposed to be 15.
Yeah, the only one who's probably close to the actual age is the kid that plays Adam.
Adam.
at
Right.
11
But because we really have no interactions like at the school and
with
you
other
just
kids. You're like, these
with
are
other
just
kids,
kids.
yeah, you just without having that comparison to actual 16-year-olds, you just
Yeah,
kind of accept it.
yeah, yeah. It's the WB method. If everybody in the school is 30, yeah, they're teenagers.
It makes it easier to pull off.
Yeah,
I mean, can you imagine like you have 16, 16, 17, 15, 16, 17, 30, 25. Like
y- yeah,
it would be
yeah.
jarring.
It would be jarring. Sometimes you get that an actor though that looks younger than they actually are. Like in one of the I think it's the second X-Men movie. You've got like Anna Paquin and the guy that plays the Iceman. They're teenagers on the cusp of 20, and then you've got the guy that plays Pyro who's 30,
Well,
like
it's like
straight up
same thing.
30 in that movie. You're like, oh geez,
Well, it's like Ferris Bueller.
yeah,
Cameron was 30 at the time.
yeah, but and he looked young. It worked. So
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times for movies, people will suspend disbelief.
true, especially
You
if it's a
know,
good movie.
yeah,
But where were we with they left the house
yeah.
and
Left for
it's
school. It's moto surfing time.
moto surfing time, and we get a brief shot of Zatch saving them from a ninja who just kind of pops up.
Yeah, just kind of kicks him in the head, and we get a little more narration of the legend or of what Zatch is doing.
Right, but
Which wouldn't you think that if this was that you would like brief these kids before it happened?
you know they're yes, yes. I feel like saving them from the ninjas at this point while they're on their way to school. This is the perfect time to go into the house, talk to Max, like, "Hey, something's happening. We should talk to the kids once they get out of school, or go grab them."
Or Johnny turns 15, you sit him down and be like, all right, so in the next year, you're probably going to have some things happen.
Right.
Why don't we
There's this
discuss those?
prophecy. Do we think it's true? Maybe. So something might happen the next year. Um,
So here's your uncle
yes.
slash
Um,
bodyguard.
but this the discovery's kind of fun, especially when you're a kid watching it. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean it does make it more exciting.
yeah.
But cutting back to moto surfing, um, I have questions.
Wildly dangerous.
That's not a question, but true. How badly did you want to get your driver's license so that you could try this when you saw the movie?
I thought it was awesome. I
Oh,
still wanted to try it. I mean, and what it was, Adam wanted to try it too. He's talking about driving the whole movie.
yeah, yeah. Which it, you know, Iggy is supposed to be 19, still in high school, or is he just driving the kids to school?
He's still in high school.
So he's got to be like a super senior.
Yeah, I think is he 19? Yeah, he is playing 19. Yeah, he's the senior or super senior. He's been there a while. Mostly because he doesn't care,
Yeah,
I would
get a lot
guess.
of that not caring about school in the early 90s, I guess it seems.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
moto surfing.
we see one of the other, I guess, kids in town or kids at school got caught moto surfing because there's
And,
cops.
and those guys look 30.
Yeah, they do look 30. I'm sorry, officer, we weren't moto surfing, and they pull out he pulls out the oars like, "Yeah, sure you weren't, kid."
Yeah, just for once, I'd like to be wrong.
Yeah, which means they get caught a lot
Yeah,
because it's apparently a thing in this town.
if no one's getting hurt, let them have it. Especially if it's
Yeah,
a small town.
I think it's LA, isn't
That's right, they are in LA.
it?
But they make it seem like they're in a little, like they're on like a small island in Hawaii or something. I think up until this last watch, I think I thought they were on like a little island in Hawaii.
Oh, I always thought they were just in LA, like the big surf scene on the beach, living on the beach,
Sure,
like
sure.
Orange County or something, but
Orange County's not on a beach.
well, you know what I mean. You get that,
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know California. I just the tone of the LA part, it just seems a lot more like Hawaii than it does LA.
that's fair. I mean, it was
Especially
a lot of it was filmed in Hawaii.
maybe that's why, because it's very obviously Hawaii.
Could be.
And so they end up getting to school without getting caught by the cops. And we kind of get a better introduction into the character of Iggy, who is just kind of he talks without thinking, I guess you would say, or
Yeah,
he thinks out loud.
he does. Yes, he thinks out loud. That's a
I
good
think
way to put it.
that's a better description, because usually in your brain you decipher all the dumb things that you think and only say the relatively smart things, and he says all the dumb things and never really arrives at a smart thing.
Correct, because we've got Johnny lamenting that he needs an alibi for his homework that he didn't do. And his solution is to say that he was rocked by the fact that he found out he was adopted last night.
Right.
To which Iggy responds, "You were adopted last night?"
Well, why didn't your dad just adopt you when you were babies?
Right, right. Out loud thoughts, or all
Yeah.
thoughts are out loud. There's no
Wh-
interior thoughts.
And that which eventually turns into Adam, the younger brother, being like, "Oh, I need an alibi too," and then Iggy coming up with the solution that he didn't get it because he was shocked that he found out that Iggy. No, he was shocked because Iggy found out that they were adopted last night.
Right, right. Yeah, tell your teacher that I just found out that you were adopted last night. It's like, no.
No. And okay, so and I think part of the reason why I thought they were in a small town or a small island in Hawaii is the fact of like they they're all at the same school.
Yeah,
And if they're in LA, the elementary school and the high school aren't going to be together, or the middle school and the high school aren't going to be one campus.
true. Were they one campus?
They're all walking together into a building.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That does make sense. But yes, I just double checked it. It says in Los Angeles,
Yeah, no, they
so
are.
it is L.A. Um.
Yeah, no, I remember because Leslie Nielsen's character mentioned something about sending
Oh,
people
he
to
does.
LA later. I guess what comes up next is pretty much the epitome of movies got a movie.
And where you thought the movie started.
And where I thought the movie started because there's apparently an assembly that Johnny forgot about where he is supposed to give a speech to a guy named the he's kind of like the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, he's the Baburam of Mikra.
Okay, I couldn't remember where he was from, and I didn't write it down because I'm like, oh, well, I won't forget that. I did, and yeah, so he's supposed to give a speech, and the principal's like, Johnny, what do you got? And Johnny's like, hey, no worries. And then the principal walks away, and he's like, I got nothing.
He's like, "I got this, brah."
Yeah, no worries, brah. And the principal does not like this kid, so I don't know why he picked him in the first place.
Um, Possibly due to his own heritage? He's like, "I'm
Maybe,
adopted, I'm from that region."
yeah, and he's just like, I'm from there, I can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we also
but
get
later it's revealed that they don't know where they're from,
true.
so that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. But I thought this next part was great because we just get a shot of a garbage truck pulling up. I'm calling them the garbage truck ninjas now.
Yeah, because they are so consistently associated with garbage trucks.
The garbage truck. Yeah, the
Are the
garbage truck
garbage truck
rolls in. The guy
assassins?
gets out, looks around suspiciously, opens the lever, the back pops up, and ninjas jump out.
Hey, if you need to transport a bunch of ninjas, get yourself a garbage truck.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have that in my notes. More ninjas. But then this assembly gets underway,
Yes, yes.
and they introduce the Babaram of
Microb.
Mikrab, and in the traditional stylings too is what is said.
Yeah, the
And
principal's like, and from what I understand, it's the traditional style for this presentation.
yeah, and what I glossed over is as Johnny's like, I got nothing, and starting to walk away, he goes to four people in robes that are
Yeah,
kind of like
the
the
choir robe.
choir, the choir robes, yeah. So he pulls the choir out, and they start doing some little chant, and you're kind of like, oh, where is this gonna go? And then they Well, they they take off into a parody rendition of, I guess, would you call it a parody? Because
I
it's
mean,
Bob Ann, but they just changed it to Bob Ram.
yeah, it's not really a parody.
It's literally just Barbara Ann by the
Yeah.
Beach Boys, but it's just Bob Ram,
Yes.
and they kill it.
Yeah, they
It-
do great.
They do great. It sounds fantastic, and we were obsessed with that forever.
Yes, yes, and the Bob around looks shocked.
He does. He looks shocked and mildly offended.
Yes, yes, he does.
And
But we
which
but,
brings, oh, go
well
ahead.
no, 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 go ahead.
I was going to bring up because we have a Beach Boys reference, or yeah, I guess yeah, Beach Boys
Song.
reference song, um, which always leads me to um, question: were the Beach Boys more popular in the 1960s or the 1990s?
I mean, they were definitely at their peak in the
In the 19,
the 1960s, but, I mean, the
were they?
fact yeah, I mean, the fact that Full House was so popular, John Stamos used to play with the Beach Boys and did a lot with them on that show, and their songs were used a lot for surfing culture. I think they had a big kinda renaissance in the '90s.
Right? But were they more popular in the 90s than they were in the 60s?
No,
You don't think?
I
The
I
90s
don't
had it was Beach Boy mania all throughout the early 90s. They were on so they started they were on Full House.
correct.
The Full House got the Beach Boys, and then they pretty much did the whole TGIF lineup. Maybe not, cuz yeah, no, Home Improvement wasn't TGIF. Then they did Home Improvement,
Yeah,
but they were all over the 1990s. I just always have
yeah.
to ask, you know.
Well, I think it might have been like a just a consistent thing. They were always just kind of popular, and then they had a little. One of their friends was on TV, and it started a whole thing for them for a little bit. I don't know, but I do remember them being everywhere in the early '90s.
They were. And Boy Meets World tried to bring back the monkeys and it didn't work.
Yeah,
Just had to mention Boy Meets World.
I know. It's your favorite show.
It's up there, yeah. So Adam can't find Spain.
Yes. Some people think Spain is here, while others think Spain is here. Yeah, he's at the front trying to locate Spain on a map,
Right. And can't do it. And
and
so,
I I have a note about Laughing Kid.
okay. I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say Glasses has a great laugh.
Yes, I remember us laughing with him while we watched this. I'm like,
Yes,
"Yep, that's that laugh. That is ingrained in my
forever. It is so good.
head."
Was he cast just for that?
Probably.
Did somebody hear him laughing and be like, "That kid, Surf Ninjas, do it." For
We need a
what?
good
We'll
laugh for
find
this movie.
something. We'll find a spot for him. What if the kid can't find Spain? Okay, that's funny. Sure. I don't know.
These kids don't do their homework anyway. Sure, he can't find Spain.
We just need this guy to laugh at him.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your fact about Laughing Boy?
Not a fact. I just had a note about it to write down that laughing kid to mention him. But we also see a ninja pop up in the window, and he's got a ninja star that looks like one of those folded footballs. It's just a little triangle.
I missed that. And what's
Um,
the plan here? He's gonna what? This kid's at the front of the class and he's gonna kill him with a ninja star right in front of the children?
yes, that is a plan. They don't care about stealth anymore. They're all out of their garbage truck midday in their blue camos.
Yeah.
But we get Zatch to the rescue again. He takes out the ninja, and Adam goes about fumbling again for Spain.
Right. And then we get a little bit more of the legend, and we find out that it's the island of Patusan,
Yes.
which is 13,000 miles away.
That is very specific or
That's
Pacific.
very far.
It is very
Nice.
far.
Right? Like, okay, let's just for 13,000 miles west of LA.
I mean, according to the map that we see a little later, um, it's in the South China Sea.
If you traveled 13,000 miles west of LA, you would end up somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, likely near the international date line. The Earth's circumference is 24,900 miles.
Okay. They got close.
So, I mean, it makes sense if you're going to make up an island to just drop it in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
It seemed really far, and I was like, well, I never looked it up to put it into perspective. But anywho, so we're on the island, and we finally meet the great Colonel Chi.
Yes.
And
And
I do say great because this man is fantastic. Leslie Nielsen, top notch for this.
I I love the affirmations they have going on over the intercom system. Colonel Chi is great. Colonel Chi is wonderful. It's just got that voice going in the background the whole time, saying how awesome Colonel Chi is.
Oh yeah, it's just there's a lot I didn't remember about this movie.
Yeah,
How silly it is.
it is silly, and then we got a good bit with Leslie Nielsen, Colonel Chi in this little section too.
Yeah, so
We, we,
he has a phone.
yes, like I mean, you need a phone, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's great because all bad guys have some like intricate like comm system or whatnot, and he's literally got a phone.
Yes, and an answer machine attached to it.
Yes. Oh, the answering machine. Oh my gosh. Hello, you've reached Colonel G. I'm unable to come to your um
Come to the phone right now, but if you
no.
leave a message with your number, I'll get back to you. And don't hang up.
And don't hang up. Yeah, that was so good. And immediately after he said that, Rachel was like, "And don't call me Shirley."
Well, it's great too. He picks up the phone and they hang up, and he's frustrated.
And he's mad. And then it calls back.
He's like, just did you just call a second ago and hang up?"
And we don't get an answer, and he's like, ah, and then throws the phone, and the people that he has in cages are laughing at him.
Yes, yes.
So
So
this,
yeah, so this is Colonel Chi in his torture dungeon.
he's not really that sinister if they're laughing at him. These people look bored, not miserable.
True.
But so we get that introduction to the character, and then we cut back to more evil garbage men.
Yeah, yeah. We see the garbage truck pull up to the beach as the boys run to have their surfboards and running down to the water.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I totally remembered this joke being done more in the movie than just the one time.
Way more plentiful as a huge running joke that would yeah,
Yes.
it's
As a huge surfing joke.
yeah, and it's this thing and then it gets mentioned later. But that's it.
Right. But him waxing his board is only done once, and I thought I remembered it being done a lot because Johnny and Adam are hitting the water, and they're like, "Come on, Iggy," and Iggy's like, "Oh, hold on, just gotta wax the board, dude," and you can see like layers and layers of wax like build up on this surfboard.
Right, because that's all he does.
Yeah, he doesn't actually surf. He just sits on the beach and waxes his board.
Yes, and watches his buddies.
Yeah, and then there's they're swim. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the garbage truck ninjas get out of the garbage truck again, and they're in their blue suits, and one of them's under the water
With a
with a
harpoon
harpoon
gun.
gun. Yeah, it's like okay, we got to get this done because Colonel Chi's not happy
No,
because they're
but
still alive.
right, but like they're like, okay, so they're ninjas, so they're gonna really stealthily kill these kids, right? Well, like they're it their means of execution are not stealthy whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna kill this kid with a harpoon gun in the middle of the day while he's surfing.
It's a diving accident.
It's ninjas are supposed to kill and like
Uh,
kill cleanly and be done.
and vanish without a trace.
Right. They are not doing that.
No, and this guy comes out of the water, gets promptly hit with a surfboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Johnny eats it
It's
pretty hard.
he had no follow through. He's like, okay, there they are. I'm gonna come out. Oh, he's coming right at me.
All right. Let me just pop my head above water to get my bearings and surfboard to the face.
Yeah, not the best ninjas.
No, and so that he hits so hard that he dings his board.
Yeah,
Johnny does, and so he's leaving. They're leaving just as Iggy's running into the water, like, "Oh, come on, I'm just getting ready to surf." And everyone's like,
yeah.
"No, you're not."
I say just as Iggy's running to the water, Iggy sees them coming out, so he starts running to the water.
Right.
He's like, "Oh no, I had some moves in me. Oh shucks. Well, let's go eat at your dad's place."
Yep. And then we get more mystery men. This is where we discover that Mac owns a restaurant, which they they never they I mean, I guess they talk about it briefly, but it's just kind of like they show up at this restaurant and Mac's in the back cooking, and we're like, "Oh, that's what Mac does for a living. Cool."
Yeah, and then we find out later that he actually owned the place, and
Sure. Yeah, no, great stuff. But Zach shows up and starts talking to Mac and gets introduced to the kids. And
right,
shortly
and
after,
it's a very brief interaction. They're like we had talked about earlier when the first ninja attack happens, that should probably show up and say, "Hey, this is gonna go happening." But they let the kids go through their day, and when he's about to explain things, this is when things go sideways again.
right, and we get ninjas jumping through windows. There's a full on ambush. Yeah,
Yeah,
see right here,
full,
right here in
full
my notes, full on ambush.
let's see. My note says ninja attack.
And we get to see how good Zach really is. And we do see some so this is going to lead into a fun fact because we see during this battle Zach using the skateboard and using some of his surroundings to help fight, which seems akin to Jackie Chan.
Skateboard. Ah.
And in the original, when they were getting starting this movie, they uh, briefly talked about pairing Zach up with Jackie Chan.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
I have another fun fact too.
go ahead on.
Well, not I don't know how fun. Yeah, it's fun fact. Um, a lot of the fighting scenes in this movie were done in like one or two takes because the director wanted to focus more on the comedy stuff. So he's like, "Yeah, that was fine. We're good with the action." So the people doing the had to stay focused and get it done first or second go, basically.
Well, they like I said in the beginning, they only shot this in 5 weeks,
Right, right.
so they were pretty
I don't
pressed for
know if
time.
they I don't know if they were pressed for time or if the director's like, "Got it, good, let's go to the next thing." It's like, "Yep, 5 weeks. I saved I saved money because we didn't go for the whole 12-week shooting schedule or something." I don't know if there was a planned thing or if they came in under time or what, but, yeah, a lot of the fighting was just one and done, we're good.
Yeah, and another I guess fun fact is all the fighting in the movie was choreographed by Ernie Reyes Sr.,
That makes sense.
who actually famously choreographed many fight scenes in Hollywood at the time.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
that's what he did more than acting was he was a martial arts choreographer.
I
But
mean, that's what Junior started doing, started with stunts and then went into acting
yeah,
'cause his charisma.
yeah, he was fun. But yeah, the so Zach and the kids uh make a break for it, and for some reason he grabs Iggy by the head and drags him along too. Because
Right,
if he
to which
didn't,
Iggy
Iggy
explains
would
later that he
die.
felt safe. Yeah.
Right. And so they jump off the pier, leave Mac there by himself, and this is when Zach reveals that this is great. Um, that the two boys are princes of an island called Patusan. And at some point during the conversation, Iggy thinks that he's the king,
Yes, yes, because we forgot to mention one thing earlier on when they're,
looking for
um
excuses for the homework.
look at excuses for the whole yeah, exactly. Iggy says, "Well, what if I was adopted and I was a prince and my dad was a king?" Um, and this revelation of Zach saying, "You're crown princes." He's like, "Oh man, I have this power." I said, "What if I was crown king?" And I am.
And
And
this is a running joke throughout the whole movie.
it
And
is,
it's
and
great.
he th- in Iggy's mind, he's like, okay. we're gonna pretend that Johnny's the crown prince as kind of a decoy, but you're really gonna keep me safe, right, Zach? Because
Yeah, Rob Schneider really committed to the bit.
he did.
And okay, so he has orange hair, right? Bright orange
Yes.
hair. Did they dye his hair orange, or did they just bleach his hair and that's how it ended up being?
I don't know, but it looks odd with his bright blue eyes.
Yeah, but I just because Rob Schneider has like really dark hair,
He does.
and
I
if he was and given the character of Iggy, if he's going for that like bleach blonde surfer look, I would think it'd be more of like he bleached his hair and that's just how it ended up.
that
Because
could be.
when you bleach really dark hair, it turns orange.
That could be. I mean, with the director bringing him in and focusing on the comedy, he's like, "Oh, that's great. Don't change it. That orange is good."
Yeah. But now we get a flashback of Patu-san and actually see how the legend came to be.
Right. Well, Iggy is calling the cops. He's like, "I'm gonna call the cops."
That's right.
Because
Iggy's calling the cops. Johnny and Adam are
because
hearing.
of all the movies we've done in C, there's very few movies where something happens and cops are called.
That is true.
We were attacked by ninjas. I'm gonna call the cops. Really? We're not just gonna run and try and deal with. Okay, call the cops. That's a good idea.
Meanwhile, everyone else is like, "We're just gonna run and deal with this. Whatever. Let Iggy do his thing."
But yeah,
But we,
yeah. Iggy's calling the cops. We get the flashback.
yeah, and we see the attack of the Patu-san village. We see Zatch with both eyes.
Yep,
They make a lot of jokes about that.
they do.
We see how okay, so we've also glossed over when we met Colonel Chi. He's got electric arm and face.
Oh yeah, we did not describe Colonel G when we were introduced to him. Yeah, he's got a metal cybernetic half of his face and a metal cybernetic arm and a battery pack that's kind of attached to him in his samurai armor.
Yeah, yeah, that's the gist of it. Yeah, but he gets that from getting stepped on by an elephant.
Right, right. He ends up slashing Zatch across the face, which leads to the eye patch, and then Zatch beats him and he gets crushed by an elephant.
Yeah, great makeup on Zatch for the sword slashing of the eye.
Yeah.
They took fake blood on someone's finger and just kind of ran it down his face.
It's a flashback. It's how the memory goes.
And yeah, so then they leave. He leaves the village with the boys and hands them off to Mac, who's waiting in a little boat.
Yep.
And that's
Uh,
pretty much the introduction we get. As Mac's sailing away on the boat, it shows Zatch again, and he's got two fully functioning eyes.
yeah, yeah.
So a
Also
little
in the
bit of
flashback,
oops.
we learn that the older brother is prophesized to be a great warrior, better than his father, and that the younger brother is destined to be a seer,
Yes,
um,
that will come back.
a kid of visions.
Yes, and I glossed over the gong guy
Yeah.
because that scene opens up with the guy hitting a gong.
Yes.
And so all the Patu-san stuff was shot in Thailand, I believe.
Yes. Yes, it was.
And I wonder how many people they just kind of took.
Locals like, come on, we're filming
Locals.
a movie.
We're filming a movie. You want to be in it? Here's what you do.
Here's $100. Good job.
Yeah,
Probably quite a few.
I'd like to think Gong Guy was.
Yeah.
He was just some guy that like, hey, you want to like smile at the camera and hit the gong? And you go, okay,
Yeah. And we also see him in the torture dungeon.
we do. Yeah, he's one of the guys that laughs at Chi, and when he throws
Yep.
his phone. So yeah, after the flashback, we got they're actually talking to the cops, and
Yeah,
as a general theme of the movie, bad cops.
yeah, they're not the best cops.
No,
They're not bad cops. They're poor at
quality
their job
cops.
cops.
That's what I meant. Like akin to black sheep.
Right,
Not very
right.
good at your job.
They're not crooked cops. They're just bad at their job or not
Well,
great at their job. And he's a
so the dad,
lieutenant.
he's a lieutenant, and he's like, you know what? Your dad probably's got someone leaning on him, and he's laying low for a while. Don't worry about it. And you're like, what?
Yeah, and and they tell him everything. Like, yeah, ninjas jumped in, they fought us. This one guy helped us who's not around anymore, and they took our dad.
And he's like, well, I'll leave a patrol car out front.
Yeah, we'll leave a patrol car out front, and he talks to the 2 cops like, "Just make sure nothing happens to these kids. I've taken a liking to them in the last 20 minutes."
Yeah. It's so yeah, that's all need be said there, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and he's concerned about leaving the kids alone, but like, "No, no, our Uncle Iggy's here.
Oh yeah, then Iggy comes out with a
He's in a
Charlie
wheelchair, a fake gut, and a Scottish accent."
and it's got with a Charlie Chaplin mustache.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie Chaplin mustache.
It's a Charlie Chaplin had that mustache.
He did?
And so they're just hanging out at home, worried about what's going on, chatting with each other. And we get the introduction to the Game Gear.
Yes.
This not Sony, Sega Game Gear.
Yes, I have some fun facts.
I do have some fun facts also. I will let you start.
The movie was originally gonna feature a Game Boy instead of a Game Gear,
Yes.
but due to the Game Boy being, I was gonna say black and white, but it's more green and white, green and black. Um, the limitations of the screen on the Game Boy, it was harder to film, so they went with Game Gear because it was in
Yes.
nice bright color.
It was.
Is that your fun fact?
Well, one of them.
Okay, go ahead and give the next one.
So the Game Gear, it was in the original script it was Game Boy,
Right.
and it was so heavily featured in the script that when the kid who played Adam auditioned, he brought his own Game Boy from home for the audition.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Do you have
Uh,
another fun fact?
Yeah, but with the changeover to Game Gear, Sony, Sega got on board and helped produce the movie as well.
Yes, they did. That was my next fun fact.
I've got a couple more too.
Go, keep going, keep 'em coming.
Okay. Also, coming out the same year, '93, was also the Surf Ninjas tie-in video game for the Game Gear,
Yes.
which was developed based on the script and not the actual movie. So there's some discrepancies there. And it is not the actual game that Adam is playing throughout the movie.
Right. It is not.
No.
Do you know what the game is like?
It's a side-scrolling game, kind of like Double Dragon. It's got Colonel Chi in it with the half robot face and everything. So it's got elements of the movie. Just it's not the polished, finished movie that it was based on,
Okay.
which happens a lot with video game movies. Like, here's the script. Like, okay, we can do. Like, yeah, we changed stuff. It's like, oh, it's not gonna match.
Right, like the Home Alone games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I mean, they're not even close to the movie,
No, no, they're not. Um,
but they're fantastic.
yeah, I had a lot of fun with the Home Alone games.
Yeah,
But Sega did make a Surf Ninja game specifically for the filming of the movie that um, incorporated all the scenes they were using and changed that, so we actually had a game to play
that's
that
cool.
was specifically for the movie.
So there's only one copy in existence,
Probably,
or a handful that they needed to cycle through in case it
yeah.
got
They get
lost.
the yeah. Okay, those are all my Game Gear fun facts.
Perfect. So Zatch shows up just as the garbage ninjas show up, and we have another another brief fight. But Zatch turns on the gas and lights a candle, and they all leave.
Right, we yeah, going through it right quick.
Well, we've already been talking for an hour, so
I know, but we find out just briefly. Adam starts seeing things through his Game Gear, so he sees the
right.
ninjas approaching the house on it.
I
Um,
forgot. I thought we already talked about that, but yeah, no, he's getting his game is what is it like 5 seconds in the future?
yeah, 5 to 10, depending on what's going on. It seems like.
Yeah,
But yeah, so he's seeing the ninjas attack the house, and he sees them. So the ninjas run up to the cop car, and then the cops kind of hang out the windows of the cop car, and they look out the window and see the cops hanging out of the cop car. And I'm sorry, did the ninjas knock the cops out, or did they kill the cops?
I don't think it's important to the story.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, they're not looking to fight, they're looking to escape. Zatch is also looking to escape. So yeah, he does candle, gas, they get out of the house, they're running down the street. Um and then Iggy's like yeah, Iggy mentions, I don't know if we want to go back to that house. Because the boys are talking about going back home and Iggy's like, I don't think
Yeah,
we should do that. This guy left the gas on and lit a candle. I mean, what if the house blows up? Then the house blows up. And
yeah,
he's like, oh my gosh, I have this new power. I say, what if something happens? And it happens. What if I lose this power? Oh my gosh, I just lost this power. I had it and I lost it. And then he's he walks off having an existential crisis.
Right.
And Zatch is like, sorry, dude, had no choice. And Johnny's like, what? You just blew up our house. What do you mean you had no choice? And Zatch is like, now you have to come with me.
Burn your life to the ground. Now you're coming with me.
Where else are you gonna go, kid?
Exactly.
That's a huge explosion,
It is a huge explosion.
and I don't think the neighboring houses would have survived that.
No, the explosion killed the two cops in the cop car that may not have been dead before.
They are now. What about all the ninjas that are knocked out inside the house?
Exactly. I mean, he doesn't care about the ninjas in the house, but
No.
But yeah, Zatch is like, okay, we've got to go. And what about this one? You keep him around like a kid would keep a monkey or a snake, right? He's your pet for entertainment.
That's basically the gist of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But they determined that the ninjas and everybody have seen Iggy with them. They can't just leave him there because they'll go
Right.
after him.
Yeah, and that guy's not going to survive anything.
Right.
But then we come back to Chi, and he's got a bread slicer. An
Bread
electric-
slicer, electric turkey carver. I don't know what it's one of those things that the two blades go back and forth.
Yeah, and he gets a phone call, and he answers it, and it's somebody talking about the kids, and he's like, "No, kill the kids. Hold on, I got call waiting." Clicks over, and he goes, "Send more ninjas to L.A." No, 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 fly him, coach.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he's sharpening this he's sharpening this thing on a grinding wheel. And then one of the guy trips him with the cord and almost gets him wet. This is where we find out he can't get wet because his
Right,
electronics and diapers will start acting up.
right, right.
He's about to stab the guy with the slicer and the phone rings. We get to hear the message again too. Hi,
Yeah,
this is Colonel G. I'm not available to take your call. And don't hang in the end. Yeah, yeah, but no,
oh,
it's
good. It's good.
Leslie Nielsen having fun.
And that's I mean I'm sure they just pretty much let Leslie Nielsen loose on this, and we're just like, just go.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
it PG, but go.
yeah, and true Leslie Nielsen form, which apparently he did on all of his movies. He brought one of those fart machines on site and kept playing jokes on people,
Yeah, yep.
cracking
He
people
loved
up,
his
and
he loved his fart machines.
yep.
So
But
they end
yeah,
up in
he's sending more ninjas coach to go kill the kids in L.A.
right. I don't know about you, but I pictured what that flight would look like.
Like 10 guys in their blue camo outfits, just sitting on the plane reading magazines.
No, they're all in nice suits,
Oh,
like businessmen. They're all dressed like
okay.
businessmen.
I'm just picturing garbage truck ninjas on the plane.
Yeah, I just pictured them all in as like they're all flying coach in business suits.
That's fair.
So we end up in Little Patusan,
Yes. At a restaurant called the Imperial Palace,
and we meet Gumby.
as in Pokey's friend.
His name is Gumbay, as in
Yes.
Poke's friend. Is the joke there? Fun
Yes.
fact:
Oh, fun fact. Gumby fact?
that guy's name is actually Gumbay.
That is a fun fact. I like it.
Yeah, I was watching the credits and it was like Gumbay. I was like, ah!
As Gumbay as Gumbay.
And then we find out that Johnny is actually betrothed to be married to a lady,
Gumbay's daughter.
Gumbay's daughter. Yes, that's
Or
right.
granddaughter, because Gumbay's looks ancient. But
I want to say granddaughter because Gumbay is fairly on the old side. You are correct, sir. But yeah, there's some huge banquet dinner where they meet the bride.
yeah, Patusani celebration.
Yeah, and so she's walking towards the table, and because they're at like this table up on a stage, and she's
Yeah.
got a veil, and so we don't get to see what she looks like right away. And they're making some insensitive comments about
Yeah.
what she might look like. Their jokes were misplaced, mean, and wrong.
Yes.
Johnny fancies her very much.
Yes, he does.
It is puppy love at first sight.
He's like, wow.
Yeah, we get a very big close up of his mouth saying, "Wow," and then she just, yeah, she just, oh, not here. Okay, so we get to the next day. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, really, the celebration just kinda ends, and it's next day. Iggy, Adam, and Johnny are outside walking. Adam's on his Game Gear, um,
Yeah,
and sees the Imperial Palace being attacked by garbage ninjas.
right. And Johnny runs in there and rescues his wife to be. I just start calling her
Yeah,
wifey because I don't think we ever get a name for her.
I'm sure we do,
I think just once, and then they never use it again.
'cause I didn't write it down.
I didn't either. But yeah, so he goes in there, disrupts them kidnapping wifey to be.
Rome, that's her name.
Yeah, Rome. Okay. And so she runs off.
Yeah, to get
And
Winky the One-Eyed Black Belt.
that's right. Oh my gosh. I remember laughing so hard as a kid at that part. Do me a favor, go get Winky the One-Eyed Black Belt.
Every time.
It's still just as funny to me.
It's just that's good.
But they're fighting in the restaurant. Adam just kind of ducks, and he's got. There's like, yeah, the game is pretty cool. I always thought the game sequence was pretty awesome because
Yeah, yeah,
it,
it's especially
it's
during this fight too.
because it's showing different seafood that he can pull out of the cage and attack the bad guys with for different points.
Yep, different points. The highest point one was the octopus.
And he grabbed the octopus and just shoved it in the guy's face. And then
Yeah,
we
and we get an awakening in Johnny as, Beethoven's Ode to Joy starts playing.
that's cool. But yeah, he suddenly, much akin to Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, suddenly knows martial arts.
I know kung fu.
Anyway, Winky the One-Eyed Black Belt finally shows up.
Right, after Johnny does some good butt kicking.
Yes. And then Zatch comes in and helps with the butt kicking.
Yep, and he kinda takes over.
Yeah. And other guy, there's like a leader of the garbage ninjas, has a
Yep,
sword, and then Adam decides to help out. He gets the option to help out Zatch with a weapon, and he picks chopsticks.
yes. Yes, he does.
And so
And I
Zatch,
believe this is the same guy that jumped off the roof to try and get Zatch and the kids at the house.
I think so. Yeah.
We didn't mention him, but the guy jumped off the roof, but
And the seer saw it and told him about it, and
yeah,
Zatch looks up and just kind of steps to the side, and the guy flat hits the
yeah.
ground. It, wonderful, great joke. But yeah, so Zatch shoves chopsticks up his nose and grabs his septum and flings them across the room by his
Yes.
nose.
Yes, and it it's a fun way it's shot because you see him kinda flip the guy over, it cuts to the Game Gear of the dude flying across the screen, like, way
Yeah,
farther than he really should, but then it cuts back to him going through a wall, so you're like, "Okay, maybe he did get flung really far," but it
he did. I like to believe that's exactly what happened.
yes.
But yeah, so they win that fight. Johnny is pumped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're outside because they need to go to Patterson now. They got to see
Yes.
this through, and so they're leaving the restaurant, and Johnny's just like talking about, "Did you see me? That was great." And I was like, "Hada, hada!" And then he it's so good because he's showing off, and then he accidentally hits one of the chefs in the stomach and, and
One of
tumbles him over.
one of the trailer shots I remember, but it's great. He's like, "Ta-ta, yeah!" God, he loses his hat and crumples. He's like, "Oh."
Yeah, just Johnny just buckles this guy, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, dude."
He's like, "Oops, sorry."
And I couldn't find anything on it because I'm like, was that ad libbed? Did him and Johnny or him and Ernie like come up with that separately and just kind of went with it? Was it in the script, or did he accidentally actually hit him and they just kept it in there? I couldn't find anything on it, but I like to think that they were doing the scene and he accidentally hit him, and they just kept
Yeah,
it because it was funny.
that's fun.
Oh yeah, and as they're leaving, Iggy's talking to one of the chefs, and he goes, "So," and I love it because the joke is fantastic. He's like, "So when I said no MSG, you put MSG in it anyway, didn't you?" And the chef's like, "Uh huh."
That was, I mean, back in the '90s, it was MSG was bad for you, or
Oh yeah,
considered bad for you.
yeah.
Um,
No, there was a big war on MSG back in the '90s.
yeah, I mean, it went on for a while. So MSG was first introduced in 1908. by a Japanese chemist. That was the first one to kind of come up with what MSG was. But in 1968, Dr. Howard Steele, he's a orthopedic surgeon,
Yeah.
and his doctor friends didn't think orthopedic surgeons were smart enough to get published in the New England Journal of Medicine. So we bet him $10 that he couldn't get published. So he started writing these letters to the New England Journal of Medicine about how bad MSG was for you, and they finally got published as the Chinese restaurant syndrome. It led to the whole MSG is bad thing, and recently it came out that this whole thing was a hoax. He even tried to call the Journal of Medicine after it was published, like, "Hey, this isn't real. I was just trying to get published and making this up," and they hung up on him and never redacted it or did a retraction. They just ran with it, and it led to the whole MSG thing being bad for you.
I never knew that, but that is fantastic. I mean, kind of. I just did you write that down just based on that joke, or did you Google it real quick while I was talking?
No, I wrote it down based on the joke. It was
Now,
a fun fact. It was a fun fact I knew, and I wanted to make sure I had it for when the
for when I inevitably commented on the MSG joke.
yes.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so they actually take off to go to Patusan. Wife joins the party.
Yeah, they got information of where Mac was being held too.
Right,
Um, and then Lieutenant Spence shows up, and they gotta book it fast.
right. They're trying to escape him. They're sneaking out, trying to sneak onto a big battleship. It looks like
Yeah, they get disguises too.
not very good ones.
No, no, not a battleship, like a cargo container ship.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. And Lieutenant catches them anyway. Their disguises did not throw him off. Surprising.
Right. Okay. Something that I never paid attention to or even worried about this movie growing up was the fact that this lieutenant sent these kids home the day before,
Yes,
sent two cops to watch the house.
yes.
Those cops are either incapacitated or dead. The house got blown up, and none of this is ever referenced again by the lieutenant.
No, no. Like I said, not a good cop.
No, he's not just like, "Hey, your house blew up. What's going on?" Or
No, because I mean,
"I've got 2 dead cops and, like, 20 dead ninjas. What's going
sure,
on?" It's
in a few minutes, his excuse for going with them is like, I need a vacation.
Right, right. He stops him on the boat, Zatch knocks him out, and a few days later, he's uncuffed
uh,
himself from wherever he was chained up. He's like, "I'm thinking about joining you because I need a vacation. I haven't had one in 17 months, and I like you kids."
and I could use a laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so he comes out with the cuffs off, and they're like, "How did you get your cuffs off?" And he goes, "I had a key." And they're like, "We searched you." And he goes, "I swallowed it last Tuesday." Like, you swallowed it? How did you know you were gonna need it? And he's like, "I swallow it every Tuesday," which
It was a
I
Tuesday.
yeah, a lot of Tuesdays in our movies. A lot of
Yeah.
important things happening on Tuesdays in our movies. But just the fact of like, I didn't think about it as a kid. I'm like, oh, that's smart. Swallow the key every Tuesday. It's also disgusting.
I'm sure he cleans it before he swallows it.
Okay, you go swallow something, and then when it comes time to swallow it again, clean it off real good, and let me know how gross it still is.
Uh, Maybe he swaps with a like an new key.
Maybe he
I don't
puts it in something.
like bleach.
No, I meant like a little like something like a
Oh,
little
like a little he puts the key inside a little balloon and swallows that?
yeah.
Like a little pill casing almost?
Yeah, like what we put grandma and grandpa in.
So he's a coin operated prize machine.
Yeah, essentially.
Swallows a key on Tuesday and every Saturday he can get it back out.
Well, okay. So he's, but at the same time, how irregular are you that like every you swallow it every Tuesday? How long does it take it to pass through? Oh, it gets stuck sometimes. Putting way too much thought into this.
It's fun.
So good. But yes, during that time, we also find out that Colonel Chi has Mac.
Right. We see a clip of him being body shamed. I was gonna say tortured, but he's just lying there. He's like, "You're 180, 200 pounds."
You've gotten old.
Yeah.
Does he torture you? He hurts you in other ways.
He's got the turkey carver too, but that can only go so far. We don't have extension cords here.
Yeah, we're waiting on a new phone.
Hi, this is Colonel Chi. I'm not available to take your call.
Okay. So we get to the beach of Patusan,
Oh yeah,
and
this was the sorry, I had to point this out. We as they're traveling, we get this shot of a map,
oh
in
yeah, yeah, the map,
a little
sorry.
monopoly battleship that starts in Portugal. They see somebody's got their hands on it. Actually, probably Spain, right? Because that's where Adam was trying to find.
It's
They,
supposed to be LA.
I know it. You see him pushing along through the Atlantic Ocean, through the Panama Canal area.
And no, it's not a Monopoly token. It is literally the big carrier from Battleship with the little
It
pegs
looked
cut off.
it looked like the little Monopoly battleship.
No, it was way longer.
Okay,
Yeah, it was definitely a
depending on the
battleship.
size, depending on the size of the map. But anyway, they
Well, the size
they.
of the hand.
Oh
Look at
yeah,
compared to the hand.
true. Okay, you're right. You're right. But we see the little yellow blob that was added to this map with yellow paint, where Pachusan's written on it in the
Good
South
enough.
China Sea. Yep.
Yeah. No, hey, it worked for me.
But I was watching them like, oh, like wait a minute, they're in L.A. Why is this thing starting out in Portugal or Spain?
That's the joke.
But yes, they are on the beach.
Yes, and they Zatch pushes the little floaty
Lifeboat.
boat back to sea. And they're like, "Oh, that's great. Now they're gonna see that." And he goes, "No, I put a hole in it. Soon it'll be at the bottom of the ocean."
It's like, great. What if we need to get out of here quick? It's
No,
like
it's we either succeed or we die. And it's like, ah, there's no gray area with you, is there?
we either win or we're dead.
Which I mean, given the situation, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Right, right. I mean, I mean, they're trying to free a nation from a war criminal.
Yeah. Anyway, they start hiking because now they're looking for a village.
Yeah, they're traveling through the jungle and they get to the Microb area.
Yeah, and I have it written down, and I don't remember how it started.
What do you have written down?
Money can't buy knives.
Okay, I got you. I got you here. So they're in the meat crop area, and Zatch is like, "Look, I can see the cooking fires. We should be there. The morning cooking fires. We should be there soon." And once we get there, the your inheritance will be waiting for you. And Iggy's like, "Oh, money?" He's like, "No, it's better than money. It's something that money can't buy. The knives of Kwanzaa." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Money can't buy knives. I went into a cutlery shop the other day. Here's $100,000. I'd like to buy a knife." And they said, "Sorry, money can't buy knives." And it comes up a couple times where because they're going through the jungle, and he's like, "Man, I wish I had something to cut down these branches. Oh, but money can't buy knives." Zach looks at him. He's like, can we shut him up?" And the lieutenant's like, "Well, I'd cut him, but I don't have a knife."
Everyone's getting in on the whole money can't buy knives.
Yeah.
That was great. So they arrive at the village and it's been destroyed.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
all these villagers,
they weren't cooking fires. They were damage fires.
yeah. And so now all the villagers are mean mugging them.
Right, right,
And
because
they were burned down to send a message to anyone who was thinking about helping them.
right. Wifey's like, "Why leave people alive then?" Like, well, they're here to say they're here to mean mug us and tell anybody else that wants to help us not to. Otherwise, this will happen to them.
Right. And so they don't even stay at the village. So there's almost no point to the village scene.
Uh, almost no point. We just get to learn that they're aware that they're on their way and they're causing trouble
Yeah. And now they're looking for the caves of Kwansu, right?
because money can't buy knives.
Because money can't buy knives, right?
They need to get the knives of Khonshu.
So Adam looks at his video games for answers, and he basically hands the thing to a monkey.
Right. I was gonna say the monkey steals it, but it's more of a do what the monkey will do.
Yeah. The monkey's just kind of waddles over there and just takes it from him, and he's like, "Hey!" And it's like, and then the monkey leads him to where the hidden passageway is. Adam pulls it. Johnny disappears, and he goes, "Hey, I found Waldo."
Zatch is like, really?
Psych. Which great joke.
And still laughing about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a Waldo joke, we get a Gumby joke, classic. We're in the 90s.
Oh yeah, it's so good. And they find the weapons of Kwansu.
Yeah, they get down to the cave where Johnny fell into, and Iggy's talking about a cousin that he had that went into a cave and never got found and thought he was eaten by bats.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but they find the magic, not magic cave, but they find the cave with the knives, and um, we have a level up fight.
We do. Yes, it is very much a. I was gonna say coming of age fight or coming into his own fight. Johnny and Zatch face off.
Yes,
Zatch challenges him and starts attacking, and then Johnny's getting his
right. Well, Zatch just basically attacks Johnny,
yeah.
sparring
Johnny's
attack, but
getting his butt kicked. Johnny's getting his butt
yeah.
kicked, and finally he runs up and grabs his sword, and he draws the sword from the sheath. And music starts playing, and it lights up, and Johnny pauses to react to the music and the light, which I love it.
And everybody looks at it like, ooh.
Yeah, everyone stops because everyone sees the movie magic happen.
Right, right. We all see the hero glow.
Yep. And Johnny gets the better of him, and we get a Zorro reference because he slashes a Z into Zatch's
Yep.
clothes
Don't mess with
and says,
Zorro.
right. And then now that they have the weapons, they're going to infiltrate Colonel Chi's base.
Yep, they're back in the jungles walking again.
And they stumble upon the chain gang and the patrols who are wearing Street Fighter uniforms.
Yes, they are.
Literally.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact, those uniforms that the patrols are wearing would be used the next year for Street Fighter.
Huzzah! Movie connections.
Yep. And then Iggy uses his power and says, "Oh man, this is a steep cliff. What if somebody fell?" And Adam and Lieutenant Guy fall.
Yes, yes. What this is very narrow. What if somebody fell? And then they do fall. And Adam rides the lieutenant down like a surfboard. Well, like a boogie board more.
Like a boogie board. And they get to the bottom, and Adam's like, "Let's do that again." And the soldiers find them.
Yes. Promptly point guns at them, and the lieutenant pulls out
His
his
badge,
police badge.
and it does not have the desired effect.
It does not.
So apparently, Zatch's solution to this is to have everybody jump down after them. Well, Johnny jumps down, Wifey
Well,
jumps
because
down.
Zatch says we'll be caught too if we go down there, and Johnny's like, it's my brother. I gotta go save him. And she's like, you gotta be careful. It's like, why? Because you're Precious Revolution? Like, no, I'm worried about you. Like, great, let's do it together. And they both jump.
Yep. And then Iggy's like, "So, you want to go grab a coffee or something?"
And Zatch just shoves him.
And they all
One,
go down there.
two.
Yep. And then they're hiding in the bushes. Wifey lures like 6 soldiers in to all get beaten up.
Yeah.
They free the hostages out of the truck and turn a corner and get caught.
Yeah. I feel like these trucks were used in Street Fighters too.
Probably. But Adam sneaks off while everyone else is getting wrangled up.
Yeah. Yeah. They all kind of get shoved back in the trucks, and Adams kind of slipped off. What?
And then he finds keys in a car, hops in, and I was writing notes and I looked down and I didn't rewind it to see how it does he run over somebody or hit the back of the truck?
He backs into somebody.
Okay. And then it's like, "All right, let's go." And that's like the cue to fight.
Yeah. The
And
the 20 guys with the guns.
suddenly don't shoot them when their only directive is to kill these people.
Right.
want to kidnap him. He doesn't want to talk to him. He doesn't want to make a deal with them. He doesn't want to do anything. It's just kill the kids.
Right. These guys don't have the Death Eater orders to save the chosen one for Chi. It's
Kill him.
kill them. He
Kill
sent
them.
more people to LA to kill them.
Right. It's he doesn't want to do it himself.
Right. He doesn't care how they die, just kill them.
Yeah.
But they all forget how to shoot, and they all forget how to shoot until they're chasing him in the vehicle, basically.
Right. But wifey's bloodlust is awakened.
Yes.
She likes hitting people.
She does.
And then they all jump in the car and escape. Apparently the kid can drive a stick.
Yeah, he's got this. He's been paying
Mechanically
attention,
inclined?
playing
I
all the
don't
video
know.
games,
I guess.
watching Iggy drive his little car.
I don't think Iggy can drive a stick.
Yeah, probably not.
But so they're driving off and there's a box full of dynamite and they're like, throw the dynamite. And Iggy's like, got it. And so he starts chucking the dynamite. And he hits the guy in the head. He's like, I got one. And wifey's like, light it, then throw it.
with, with her new bloodlust, light the dynamite.
Right? And he's like, right, I need a light. And we discover that Zach smokes.
Right.
And
I
he's
know I
like,
should quit.
I should. And Iggy suggests that he gets the patch and then breaks the fourth wall.
Yes. He looks directly in the camera. He's like, well, look who I'm talking to.
Yeah. Great. And the
What?
dynamite blows up and the levels just the Jeep, not the vehicle of hostages behind it. And they make a clean
No,
getaway.
they were the hostages behind were far enough behind that they could just drive over the remnants of the Jeep that blew up.
Sure they were.
I mean, that's what we saw.
Yeah.
Jeep blows
No, I
up.
know. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, so now they're back at the village. We get Kwansu, dude, becomes a thing. Johnny gets his new headband. Adam gets a new headband. And they reluctantly give one to Iggy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Zach reluctantly gives one to Iggy. Johnny's like, yeah, give him one. He's my buddy.
Or more, save yourself the trouble and just give him one too.
Yeah, my pet needs a headband too,
So Zach ties it on Iggy
aggressively.
very aggressively. And suddenly there's a parade.
Yeah, the Revolution Parade.
The Revolution
That's what I have in my.
Parade.
That's what I have in my notes. Revolution Parade.
And it's a long parade. And they're what? Kwansu, dude.
Yep, they're collecting people all throughout the island, or all from the area to do this.
The parade.
Yeah, parade. They're collecting people. The people are joining them. They're getting machetes. They're getting weapons. The revolution is coming.
They are ready to take back
They
their
are
island.
ready.
And then it ends, and Wifey's walking through the village saying Kwansu, dude, to everybody as like a greeting
Yeah.
somehow, some reason. And then she wanders off into, I don't know, I guess away from the camp a little bit, and she
You're
and
like
Johnny,
field.
yeah, have field, and he's cutting plantains, and
Yeah, it took me a second. Like, why? Where's she going? What is she doing? I don't
took me
remember
a
this.
second too, and I was like, at first I thought she was a turncoat.
Yeah, I was like, is she doing something bad? What's going on? And then she was talking to and then John. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this part now.
Yeah, they're having to define the relationship talk.
Right. Well, I was like, I'm not gonna marry you because we're supposed to.
But we can still date, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then they play kissy face for a second.
right. Yeah, she's
Which
basically saying she's not gonna conform to Patustani marital culture standard.
expectation.
Yeah, arranged marriage bad.
Not the worst love story we've had in a movie.
No, it's not. I mean, we say they've been together a few weeks. They're both teenagers, and they're
Yeah,
like, maybe we're not getting married, but let's date for a little bit, see how it goes.
yeah. No, I mean you can't fault them for that. So yeah, they need to get to the other side of the island to sneak up and attack the Cheese stronghold.
Right. They get to the beach where they're looking at the island where Cheese Stronghold's on, and Lieutenant's like, they've got every gun pointed at this beach.
Yeah, no, they're expecting an attack from right here, and they're like,
They're
"Oh,
looking this way.
wouldn't it be great if we had a boat?" And then Adam sees trees, and first his game doesn't work, and he's like, "It's not showing me the magic." And Zach's just like, "The magic was in you. And he's like, oh, I guess we could carve these trees into surfboards, which that's gonna take a while, but apparently it didn't,
It
because
didn't even get a montage. It just happened.
it cuts to them, a huge group of people on the beach with these
Right.
surfboards.
Yeah, we find out that the Pachusanis are some of the best wood carvers in the world,
Yes.
so they got speed on their side. We also get the information that the backside of the island has a reef that boats, large ships and stuff really can't get to, so they're not worried about that side probably,
Right.
which
That's
is
their
why the
best bet,
surfboard thing is
the way to
um,
go.
the way to go.
And
Because
then
we
we
also had to
get,
bring back surfing.
of course we did. That's called Surf Ninjas.
Right.
Yeah, so I'd have called it Garbage Ninjas. But then we get Iggy finally admitting that he does not know how to, he's never surfed a day in his life.
Right. We get Adam being mean to him. Like, yeah, it's a big joke. We all laugh at you. Ha
Everybody knows. We all talk about it.
You're a big joke.
So we have a surf montage.
Right. Well, and Johnny gives him the little pep talks like, what if you could surf? Get in the mindset. It's in you. Right? You got your power. What if you could surf?
And then, what if I can surf? And then he's like, I can surf. And so we get a surfing montage. I guess it's more of a paddle montage at first, because they got to paddle to
Yeah.
where the tide breaks.
And I don't know if it's a montage. It's more of a journey, right? They get in the water, they paddle away,
There's music, they cut. It's montagey. I don't know.
and then everybody surfs because
Eh,
of the 20-minute lesson they got on the beach after the surfboards are carved.
yes.
And I'm being generous
Which
at saying 20 minutes.
it was very brief. And my question is why do they have to know how to actually surf?
Why
I mean,
why not just
it's for the movie, sure,
right.
but realistically, all they have to do is stay on the board.
Yep.
That's it. But we do get some fun surfing
True.
moments.
I mean, you've got a 15, 16-year-old kid who's leading a rebellion who's like, so you get your board and you just surf in there. We're gonna He's excited. He's pumped that this whole army's gonna surf in and take out these guys.
Yeah. So let 'em have it. It's also great. It's a lot of fun because you can see it looks like there's actually all really surfing and having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a big shot. There's like 30 people out there.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, and which kind of it seems like that kind of just help you enjoy a movie more.
Yeah. So all the troops kinda coming in waves, on
Yep,
waves.
nice, nice. But yeah, they eventually land on the beach and they're climbing up the hill and they got the grappling hooks and I don't know why, but I thought so. Johnny threw his grappling hook up there. Adam throws his grappling hook up there, and for some reason, I thought Iggy was gonna throw a grappling hook up there and hit a guy and pull him down off the wall. I was expecting that joke, and it didn't happen.
I feel like that's in something else.
Gotta be.
Can't think of it at the moment. Maybe we'll
But
get to that
anyway,
movie eventually. But yeah, no, um, they grapple hook onto this back wall of the fortress and they start climbing up.
yes. And they get to the top of it, and they're like, let's throw the dynamite." And they light like 6 sticks of dynamite and throw it down onto the soldiers who are training.
Yeah, they're in formation doing their training stuff. Dynamite kind of hits the ground around them, and then it's on.
Right. But let's pause for a moment and just think about the real life physics and logistics of what would happen if you threw 6 full sticks of dynamite down into people.
A nice red mist.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be little boom boom boom. It would, yeah.
Well, it's a PG movie.
It is. But I'm watching that and I'm like, where are they going with this? I don't remember this part.
It's I mean, it's their first move fireball.
Level 1 fireball.
Well, no, but you start combat, fireball, let's go.
Yeah. And that's what I have right there. Yeah. I said dynamite would be way worse, but moving aside, attack. And so you get a nice fight scene. I enjoyed the fight scene because it didn't drag on forever. It got to the point while still being entertaining. You have the guy who attacks no white wife lady, I forget her name, and she,
Roy May.
yeah, sure, and she pushes him down the stairs,
Yes.
and it's like a million stairs.
It is. is it the same set of stairs from Ace Ventura when nature calls that he's
It might
putting the
be.
slinky down?
It might be.
It might be because that was a lot of stairs too. But
Yeah.
yeah, this dude slinkies down these stairs.
Yeah. And then Chi comes out with Mac, and he ain't wasting any time. I mean, true to character, he just wants these kids dead, so he pulls out a gun and shoots and hits
Right.
Zatch
Yeah, Zatch jumps in the way.
and gets hit, and there's no blood or any special effects there.
No,
We don't know where he got shot. I assume the shoulder,
shoulder.
because smacks him in the shoulder after they fight. It's revealed that Zatch is the boy's uncle.
Right.
He smacks him in the shoulder, and he reacts to it, and it's like there's literally nothing there.
Right. And they're all concerned, and Zatch is like, "What if I don't die?" He's like, "Hey, that works."
So they're all just pandering to Iggy at this point.
Yes.
And then um, I almost called him Kino. Johnny
But Johnny's angry now.
Johnny's angry. He's like, I'm gonna go get him, and Zatch is like, you can't. And Iggy and Adam in unison both go, he can if it's his destiny,
Yeah,
which is fantastic and hilarious.
it
And
is. So, and on his way to go get Colonel Chi, the dude that fell down the stairs finally makes it back up after crawling back up the stairs.
yep, and gets kicked down.
Yep, Johnny fights him and then throws him down the stairs again.
Yep, so we get the same. It's probably recycled footage of him rolling down the stairs, but
Probably.
yeah. But then we get um, Johnny and Colonel Chi face off. Chi's hand gets wet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first Chi shows up in a jeep.
That's right. He's in the Jeep first, and that's how he gets wet,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. He's in the jeep. He's driving around trying to run Johnny over, and then starts shooting at him. And Johnny baseballs a bullet back at the jeep
Right.
with his sword. Jeep's tire pops. He crashes into the fountain and he gets wet. He's like, "Oh no, I'm wet." He's like, "Wait, I'm okay."
And then somehow Adam ends up Bluetoothing the malfunctioning equipment.
Yes, and is helping Johnny in the fight because he needs help against Colonel Chi. Apparently,
Yep. And we get a bit of a obligatory Mister's joke.
yeah. I don't care. This whole thing was fun. Was funny. The hand starts malfunctioning and it starts choking himself. He gets it off his throat and it just grabs himself in the misters. the shot the shot the shot of it is you can tell the prop department had like two golf balls in there that he's grabbing and twisting. And the look on Johnny's face is like, "Oh, that is awful."
Right, right. But it all. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Mister jokes,
I, I, I,
but
I know.
it also but it makes sense that like an 11 or 12-year-old kid would do that. Oh no, what do I do? I have control of his hand.
Ugh.
Let's go for the most vulnerable area. I mean, yeah, at 12 years old, that's in
Yeah.
character.
It's just the aggressiveness of the shot. It,
Oh, and the pain in Leslie Nielsen's face.
yeah. But yeah, Johnny's got him backed up to this water, this little, not a
Trough?
trough, but like
I
a
was gonna
like
say
a
trough.
like a little koi pond or something.
Sure. Conveniently placed koi pond.
Right, right. And he almost kicks him in. He's like, "No, it's water." And then Johnny's like, "It's like, okay, like, wait a minute, this guy's a war criminal. He killed my parents."
Yeah, and
And
it
he
pokes him in the forehead and he falls back into the water and gets
electrozapted.
electrozapted and game over. And then we
Yeah.
cut to Gong Guy again.
Adam
Says,
got the high score.
yeah, Adam got the high score. Which his first time playing, duh.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, then we cut to Gong Guy. Gong Guy goes, Patu San.
Yep.
Like his little chuckle. Hits the gong. We're at a big old celebration.
Batu-san is at peace again.
Patu San's at peace again. the Babaram of Miqua
Microb.
Mikrab
Yep.
is there, and he's like, I know that guy. Super
Oh, he's
excited.
very funny. Yeah.
He's
He was not offended.
no, he looked offended, and that we realized that he's not offended, or maybe he was offended until he realized who this kid was, and now he's like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, I can't be offended." No, he's great. I loved being mocked in front of everybody.
Yeah. No, I don't think he was offended at all based on the next 5 minutes.
No, definitely not. Yeah, so um, Johnny eventually gives his speech that he's supposed to give.
Right. His speech is, I'm dismantling the monarchy. And this Patu Sun can be run by the people. I'm going back to finish high school and take my SATs. Peace out.
I'm I'm bringing the wife with me.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and take our tests and
Oh, hang on a second. This guy's coming back up the stairs because stairs guy
yep.
is finally
Stairs
made
guy
it back to
finally
the
gets
top,
back.
and he's like, "Hey, dude, your side lost. It's over." And he pushes himself down the stairs.
Yeah, he just kind of
That's what I
turns
thought,
and starts sliding down.
which fantastic. I liked it. And then, um, yeah, we after the speech and Johnny comes back and finishes the speech. After it ends,
Oh,
we what?
but before Johnny's speech, I was gonna say this. He's like, "I've got nothing," like he did when he was supposed to give the presentation,
Oh yeah.
and Adam's like, "I got this, Kwanzaa, dudes," and everybody yells Kwanzaa. He's like, "Man, that must mean free beer or something."
Right. Yeah, that was good.
They love this. But the speech ends, and we get treated to a reprise of Barbara Ann.
Yes, with the correct lyrics this time.
Yes, and the Baba Rum singing
Yes. Very well,
and playing
actually.
guitar.
He's not actually playing guitar.
I know,
Because if you notice, grabs the guitar, he puts it on, and then he starts going in for a solo, and it's like they cut his guitar because he's like, and there's no electric guitar sounds whatsoever. And roll credits.
but yeah, that was and yeah. Roll credits, and we get a bunch of credits for like for the rest of the song of everybody partying, singing
Yeah.
Baba Rum, and everybody's happy. Yay, peace.
Yep. So I'm curious because you picked this movie based on our childhood memories of it. Did it hold up?
I don't know if it was nostalgia holding me through, because it's definitely a cheesy movie, but I
Yeah.
had a blast watching it. It was a lot of fun. Everything came coming back to me as I was watching it. Like, oh yeah, yeah. Uh, I had fun with it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I I really enjoyed it. What about you?
10 out of 10. It was absolutely everything I remembered it being. It was everything I hoped it was going to be. It it succeeded on every front that I wanted it to.
It,
I will watch this again. I turned to Rachel as it was over, and I said, "Get used to this, because in about a year from now, Finley's going to be watching this movie," and I mean that. And it
there's
was
Good, good. I mean, you get movies sometimes that you watch as a kid that you loved as a kid. You watch 'em like, "Oh, that did not hold up at all." And this one, for me, it sounds like for you too, it hit exactly what I remembered. It was enjoyable. Even stuff I didn't remember, as soon as it kinda went through, it was like, "Oh, yeah, I remember that. Money can't buy knives."
yeah,
I
absolutely. It
Before watching it again, I couldn't have pulled that out of what I knew about this movie. Watching it again, like, oh yeah, that's a big that not a big part, but yeah, I remember that now, and I remember that now too. But I think I watched it twice to prepare for this because I just wanted to watch it again.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have watched it twice,
But
but
I had a
it,
lot of
it,
fun with it, and I'm glad it turned into it was one of those movies that we liked, that we still like.
yeah, me too. I'm because yeah, like I said, I've been
It
wanting
did,
to bring it to the podcast for a while now, and it was only available for purchase or rent on Amazon Prime, and it just became free not too long ago.
yeah.
And so like, yeah, I'd been wanting to
It
do it, and um I'm glad you
Nervous
chose
about
it.
the black sheep effect?
No, I wasn't. I was nervous about the Adventures in Babysitting effect.
What Adventures in Babysitting?
Do you remember watching Adventures in Babysitting?
I remember watching Adventures in Babysitting, and I like that movie.
Have you seen it recently?
Yes.
Oh, didn't hold up for me.
Oh, we go through the down periscope of it. But yeah, no,
But
I know what you mean. You're nervous to go back and look at some of those movies you remember fondly.
because it wrecks them and there's no salvaging them. But
Yeah, I can.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
this movie was silly, it was goofy, it was fun, it was cheesy, it was campy, it was a wonderful. As Rachel said, she goes, "This is like a spoof of the ninja movies, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, spoof."
yeah,
It was.
yeah. No, it's definitely
It's a very much a one of the old ninja movies is a ninja movie geared towards kids,
yeah.
made to just entertain and be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with Ninja Turtles coming out before that, Three Ninjas being popular around that time, it
Hmm.
was the
And
kung
then
fu and karate was big at this point, and they saw an
yeah,
opportunity with
yeah,
Ernie
it's
Reyes and went with it.
yeah. I mean, and this kind of was ending the karate craze of the '80s because it started with the Karate Kid in '83.
Yeah,
Maybe the reason this movie didn't do well in the box office is because it was at the end of the ninja craze or the karate craze, and
could
so it
be.
didn't have.
I know one of the attributive factors is what I mean what is talked about is the poor marketing of it. It didn't get a lot of commercials, posters, or anything. It was just kind of like here's another movie that didn't get the fanfare that other movies would get
Hmm, yeah, it makes sense.
because if people don't know about it, it's um, not going to get watched. I don't think I have anything else to say. I got pretty much got all my fun facts out.
Yeah, I think I did too.
I think we're at the next part where you tell us what. We're at the part where you tell us what we're watching next.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Did
I don't have a movie lined up
you?
completely.
Oh no.
Oh boy. All right. So, okay. I have thought about it a little bit and I was like, well, maybe I want to go super I think I do want to go super off in a completely different direction at some point.
And now
I
for
don't
something
think
completely different. Oh,
I
not
I
yet.
don't I don't think I want to tackle it because it's going to be big and it's going to be different.
Okay.
And I don't think I want to tackle it quite yet.
Okay.
Um, I, oh man, I have two on the front of my mind that I think I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, and
You're
I
in the
can't
same boat I was last time.
and I can't decide between the two. Do I want to go with a movie we watched a lot growing up again, or do I want yeah, I'm gonna go that route.
Okay.
We watched this growing up a bit, and I'm not sure. Yeah, we have had a movie with yeah. Or do I want to? Oh man, I'm gonna hum and haw about this for a while. No, okay, yeah.
I,
I'm really torn
I'm
between
sorry. I
these
should have
two.
reminded you that your movie was coming up.
I should have known. I just I don't. We did a bunch of special features in a row, and so I
Right.
forgot that we do this.
Well,
Um,
and with you kind of running this one again, it may have felt like yours a little bit too.
no,
Oh, okay.
maybe I don't know. Um, but
You want to
let's
flip a coin?
no. I've decided we
Okay.
are going to go into. Well, yeah, no. Yeah,
This is the
exactly.
most flustered you've been over a pick.
I should have decided this before.
I mean, I hummed and hawed last time.
Not this
Um,
long.
I got caught. No, but I did get caught up over the Godzilla down periscope. Um,
That is true. You did. Yeah, I really can't decide.
see, do I have a coin?
I do have a coin, but it's all the way over there, and I don't want to get up. No, no, you know what, we're gonna no.
You gotta leave all this in?
Oh yeah, this is gold right here.
Are they 2 very different movies?
Two very different movies. I
Are they
mean, it
very different from what we just watched?
both are very different.
Are you phoning a friend?
No, no, no. I've decided for our next movie, we're gonna feel the rhythm, we're gonna feel the rhyme, we're gonna get on up because it's bobsled time, and we're gonna watch Cool Runnings.
Oh, fantastic. That is a great choice.
Yeah, are you patronizing me now?
No, 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 that is a great choice. I am excited to watch that. I remember watching it once growing up, not a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I think I watched it the first time in Mr. Tusher's class
Oh,
in
dang.
sixth grade. I had no idea of it, and we had every like I don't know, elementary school they had all the reward systems and whatnot, and one are in place, and like
Right, you get
you get
the
a certain amount of points, and we had like a fun day where we didn't have to do any work, and we or half the day was like watching a movie and having snacks and playing video games, or it might have been an
right.
all day thing, but yeah, so that was the movie he picked for that,
Okay.
and so yeah, all right,
Well, that's
yeah,
fantastic. I'm excited.
I did not expect that to happen, but yeah, there we go.
All right.
All right,
Cool
well that
running.
wraps. Yep. Well, thank you for joining us today as we took a look and talked about the movie Surf Ninjas and how much it held up and stood the test of time. Great movie. We look forward to seeing you next time as we take a look at the John Candy classic Cool Runnings. If you'd like to reach out to us, you could do. It's a John Candy
Cool
classic.
running. No, this is the movie name.
Oh, Cool Runnings, plural.
It's like calling The Outsiders The Outsider.
Well, by the end of it. Spoilers. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can do so. WatchItBroPodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at WatchItBroPod. We are on Facebook and Instagram under the same handle. Our intro and outro music is now provided by my lovely wife. That intro being, I don't remember which is which, so she provided the music. That's all we need to know there.
Oh, and we're
And
new to YouTube.
we are new to YouTube, so if you prefer that method, find us there, I guess. Um, and as always, thank you for watching.